today I'm going to be showing you guys the difference between baking with butter and baking with margarine. So I'm going to bake it in one pan. I have two pans here, so I'm going to bake in one here and one here. But the problem is I have just one bowl, so we're not going to be baking them at the same time. We're going to be baking them at different times, and then we are going to label them. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you the difference between baking a cake with butter and baking with margarine. So if that's something you've been looking to, decide upon, okay, so this video is for you. But starting off, before we even start anything, it's important to notice that the butter is a lot softer, and I have taken it out of the fridge for almost 12 hours now because I took it out last night, and the butter is a lot softer than the margarine. So let me do a cut test for you guys. Okay, so this is what I mean. I don't know if you can see this. This is a cut test of the inside of the margarine. See how well it cuts because it's still firm, even though I took it out of the fridge last night. So comparing the butter, see how soft it is. It is so soft and difficult to cut. See? That's how soft it is. Okay, so I'm going to be baking them at different times because I got one bowl. So let's get started. So guys, this is an experiment I've always wanted to try out, like comparing baking with butter and baking with margarine. Okay, but before we go to the obvious differences, let's first talk about like the price. Butter is a lot more expensive than margarine. So if you're thinking of price, margarine is a lot better for you, especially if you're selling cakes. But that's if you're thinking of just price. But when you're selling stuff, the only thing you think about is not just price. You also think about what is better for your customers. Butter is a lot better for your customers because it is natural. And margarine has usually, the cheaper ones have trans fats, and that is not really good for people that have cholesterol issues and stuff. So it's important to also like remember that part. Okay, so for the first one, I'm going to be using butter, and when you're mixing it, there is no difference with using margarine. I didn't notice any difference. The only difference was like I noticed it smelled a lot better, and I felt like when I melted the butter was more, it had more fat in it than, it had more like white stuff, which is the protein in it, than the margarine. When you're mixing it, there's not much difference, and it smells a lot better. Yes guys, it smells a lot better. I think I'm going to write it on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so this was me using butter, and then I poured it in a pan and then put it aside so I can immediately mix my batter with margarine so I can bake it at the same time, the same equal amount of time. Like I didn't want to be partial, so like I was really paying attention to what the difference would be. So now we're going to put this aside and then make the second batter. Yes. Okay, so I made the second batter and I didn't like show you guys, so like it will make this video unnecessarily long. And then I just made the second batter with margarine. But what I noticed with margarine was that it didn't smell as good as with the butter, and I felt it wasn't as liquidy, but maybe that was just my mind. Okay, and I wanted to bake them at the same time. I didn't want to bake them at different times. So what I'm going to do to differentiate them is I'm going to take a grape from the fridge, and I'm going to stick a grape into the one I made with margarine, so that the one I made with butter won't have a grape in it. That way when it's done, I'll be able to differentiate which one is with butter and which one is with margarine, so I won't get confused or maybe mix them up. Okay, so I stuck in the grape, and now I'm going to pop them in the oven at 160 degrees centigrade to bake until they are done, and then I am going to bring them out. Okay, so while I was baking, I kind of noticed there was no difference in baking time, and the aroma from the butter and the margarine kind of already mixed together, so it's impossible to tell which one smells better. But when they were baked and ready, I kind of noticed that the main difference was the one with butter was a lot softer than the one with margarine, number one. Number two, the one with butter had like a better smell when you smell it than the one with margarine. And then number three is that I noticed the one with margarine had better texture. For example, if you're going to be making a fondant cake, the one with margarine will hold up better on the fondant than the one with butter. But otherwise, they both tasted good and I really loved them. Thank you so much for watching my videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. I love you guys. Bye.